Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
Every 10 or 15 years, a film is produced that is so overwhelming, so forceful in its impact, that it becomes deeply embedded in the mind.
Hey, what's up? This is Jeremy Palco from The Walking Dead, and this is Still Toking With.
Hi, I'm Larry Kenny, and you're listening to Still Toking with...
What's up, everybody? It's comedian Sherwin Array, and you're listening to Still Toking With on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching Still Toking With. My name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have an awesome show scheduled for you. And don't adjust your screen. We know we're on early. Just get used to it and sit back, relax, have an awesome time. And without further ado, Benjamin, how's it going, bud?
Better now that we got the time difference figured out.
So,
our guest tonight thinks he's a fucking rock star, apparently. Shows up when he feels like it, I'll get there when I get there. It's no big. No, we actually have a great show tonight. I mean, I'm not going to steal Jeff's thunder by announcing the guest, but he is coming to us from the UK, so it's like fucking 10 o'clock over there. We made him stay awake, and so it ought to be a good one.
Oh, yeah, totally. And, before we get to Jeff, we also have a couple fuckers here that need to say hi.
What is up?
Glad to be
Rico
back.
and Eric, how's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm Rico, and this is my homie Eric. Nice to be back. Thanks for having us, guys. I appreciate it, man. We miss you guys a lot.
Yeah, I miss you too. But I figured, especially with our guest tonight and your background, this would be a great show for you guys to come on and co-host with us. And, just in case I run out of questions. That's all.
Gotcha. I haven't seen that happen yet, but okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. We've been talking about it.
Well, you haven't watched the show past 5 minutes anyway.
Hey, Leo, it's almost 5 o'clock. Don't you have to go somewhere?
Oh, shut up.
Hey, how did we lose? We just lost Jeff.
You got a phone call.
What the flying freak over?
Man, it's a good thing we showed up.
Right? No shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell. We'll have to wait for his ass to come back so he can announce the guest.
Or you can do it.
I don't think we have to wait for him, do we?
No, I don't think we do either.
No, my man. That is unacceptable.
He's back.
Somebody
looks like he's back.
Hey, there he is. Missed you.
There I am. Yes. This thing was running choppy on me, so I came out and came in. Huh? She liked that.
Ooh.
No.
You chose now to do that, Jeffrey?
Right. We've been backstage for 45 minutes shooting the shit. It's all good. It's okay.
We were playing with Legos.
Yeah.
Already. What we playing with Legos?
Well, get to it.
We were playing with.
Who's our guest?
Legos. Who's our guest?
Martin Webster. I know who our guest is.
Well, then you're supposed to yeah.
That's a hell of an introduction.
So instead of me fucking shit up, why don't we just bring Martin in and he can tell us all about himself?
He's like, I got a piece of pizza, guys.
He said, "Fuck the police! I'm pizza." Oh my god!
No, it's toast with Marmite.
British toast with
British toast.
Toast with Marmite.
With marmalade.
With lots of Marmite. Have you heard of Marmite in the States? You
I'm not sure if we pronounce it the same way.
Bovril or beef yeast extract.
Oh no, that's not. That's
filthy stuff. It looks like dog shit on toast, basically.
Oh, that's something that
I've got brown teeth. I've not been eating shit. I've just been eating Marmite.
Bro, you're not in the military anymore. You don't have to. Who hurt you?
Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
we had some bad stuff.
You guys got MREs over there?
No, we had British ration packs, but we would buy your MREs like off eBay because they're so much better than the shit that we was eating.
You think our MREs are better?
They taste better.
Look at Rico's eyes.
And you don't need to light a fire. You don't need to. You even get that little cooking device, don't you? You get the cooking device.
You get a heating bag, which you can't.
We got to light a fire. We got to light a fire to
Oh no, fuck! See, you guys, fuck no. We got told you're just gonna eat it like that. It's like, and if you got veggie omelet, my man, you deserve a combat action badge just for eating one of those, bro.
No doubt. That's taking one for the team, literally.
Dude, what's your favorite MRE, Webster? Mine's number 11, tuna.
Dude,
I like the beans and sausages. English breakfast, beans and sausages.
Ooh,
okay, yeah, I could go with that.
All right,
yeah.
There was so many beaks and bums ground up into those sausages. They always use the best parts of the pig.
Absolutely.
Only the fine.
They don't waste nothing on the pig. You just ground it up.
It's like Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans, we don't waste anything on a pig, homie. We eating the whole thing.
Whole thing.
I'm paid for that whole thing. I'm eating the whole thing.
Even the head cheese?
Trousers.
Everything, bro. Everything. You know how much I paid? They call it pernil in Puerto Rico. You know how much that is? Bro, it's expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And in this economy, you better eat the whole damn thing.
Yep. They actually have pickled pig's feet in the bar.
Ooh.
My grandparents used to butcher, and my mom would talk about like making head cheese with the actual head.
Yeah,
I bet it
that
tastes
is
nice.
absolutely disgusting, but I've seen it. Yeah,
that's wild.
So you ex-forces, Eric? Are you?
I was in the Navy for a little while. So
Army,
brilliant.
31 Bravo, military police.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome! So you would have been arrested. You would have been arrested. If you look at my,
he knew the other MPs. He didn't get arrested.
Bro.
That's why he didn't get arrested.
I think in the British forces, it's called security forces. You guys call them, right?
Yeah. Have you heard of Edinburgh Castle in England? Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. Never heard of in Scotland? There's this huge castle on like an old disused volcano, and I was one of the corporals in charge of the military base, and 2 military police guys came in drunk, British military police. And then I beat them up because they were throwing chips at my gate, man. They were throwing. And you're not supposed to do that. The whole guard got arrested because we were protecting the Scottish crown jewels, and I was the first time the whole guard got arrested. That'll be down in. If you go to Edinburgh Castle, that'll be down in the incident book. Look it up,
bro. That is a story. I think the craziest thing.
I think if
you've seen Penitent,
that means a duel.
Hold on,
right?
Have you seen Penitent yet? They've seen the film Penitent.
We have not.
You seen?
No, that's why we're here, isn't it?
But when there's a red book that opens up in Penitent, and it's a military law. Like I've got it up in me what you call the loft, attic, the roof space.
Yeah.
And it's a big red book, and I got given that when I got arrested for beating those 2 military police up when I was in and it's in the film. I got it. The book opens up because he's getting done for desertion.
Good.
Wow. Am I speaking at the right pace, or am I talking too fast?
Getting beat up.
Oh, you're good.
No, dude. This is perfect. I think the craziest thing a military person's done in the U.S. Army was they took a tank, and I think they drove it to Mexico. I think it was. I think. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they drove it to Mexico.
Sold it to Pablo.
Yeah. That's the thing. A soldier, he tried to drive it. He tried to drive it to Mexico.
Didn't make it.
I think it was an Abrams, and he did not make it.
Did not make it.
and he was drunk the whole time doing it.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't do that sober.
Yeah.
You would not invade Mexico sober.
Webster, you've deployed, right?
Yeah, Iraq, Northern Ireland, Sierra Leone. I've done
what year were you in Iraq, if you don't mind me asking?
2003 to 2004.
Okay, yeah. I was 08 to 09. I was in Baghdad.
Nice one. We was in Baz Alamara. But
in JSR? JSR Alamara?
It was called Alamara.
Yeah.
There was a few American Special Forces guys that came into our camp when the shit hit the fan, because obviously they would withdraw into military bases when the shit hit the fan, and that's in my film Diary of a Disgraced Soldier. I've done a documentary about the Iraq War because I was arrested for filming my friends beating up a load of Iraqi civilians who were throwing grenades over the, at the end of the day, they were kids.
They were
over a wall.
Yeah. I'm sensing a theme with you.
Yeah. I'm sensing
I've been in a lot of trouble.
Were they RKG-3s or just M67 grenades?
They were Russian because
Russian grenades.
Russian, the old little round Russian grenades.
RKG, the parachute one, the airborne grenades.
Yeah.
No, little, just a little, like we called it an L2 grenade, and the probably weighs about 1 pound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you would arm it by putting the fly off lever goes in, you screw it in, and then you pull the pin, and then as the fly off lever comes off it.
That seems really complicated for the Russians. I would think that the Russians are let go of a grenade, it blows up, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
that seems like in America, it's like you pull the pin, and then you let go, and you pray to Jesus that it blows up everything.
Well, you missed a step. Radius. You're supposed to count to 3, throw it.
Well, if you want to,
and then pray to Jesus. Do
you see the difference in the equipment? Like, because we had Land Rovers. You've heard of Land Rovers, British Land Rovers. Yeah. Well, we had Land Rovers with bread crates. What you hold all the bread would come in, and they were metal, so we would strap them to the front of our windows because we didn't have any bulletproof glass or anything. So we had and chicken wire, and we had chicken wire to stop the stones from coming in. And we didn't get issued the visors, so we were like that. We was going through the towns, holding our hands over our faces, and all the I've got video footage of my friend gets a rock in the face and it breaks his nose, and I'm filming it, laughing.
Damn.
And it wasn't pleasant, to be honest. I shouldn't have been laughing, but it was.
Then people get upset when I hear stories of soldiers giving people pee inside of a Gatorade bottle and stuff like that. Like, here's stories like that, and I'm like,
it's like, well,
I don't know how to think about that.
Well,
I love the beginning. I love the start of your show, guys. I love that. I love that music. Which was it? Tarantino uses all that like American cinema. I suppose because we didn't have that over here in England, but it just gets the nostalgia going. It's so. Oh, I love it. I love all that old. It's like shot on 16mm. Is it? Is it all?
Yeah, I think it was. It's I think Leo put that together, didn't you?
Put that together, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I just love the beginning to oh, it's just awesome.
It was a grunge style that I went with.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, because it feels like a drive. I don't know if they had them in England, but it feels like a drive-in when you play that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was going for when I put it together.
Yeah, no, Leo did an amazing job. But
I know
you guys are talking military and stuff like that, but let's talk a little bit about you've won a ton of awards recently for the Penitent.
Oh, thank you.
And of course we had we lost who'd we lose again? Jeff.
Jeff, yeah. And as soon as he pops back, I'm gonna pop off.
That's fine. Well, you can pop off. Okay. I can run this stuff. Switchboard is not running. I just shut it down.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to jump in there and see what happened, but I don't know what happened. But anyways.
Okay, I'll take a look. It was a pleasure, sir.
Oh, nice to meet you. I like your hat out there, Leo. I like your hat.
Would you?
My brother had that at Christmas years ago, back in the 80s. And I had the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I remember that. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Leo. Thanks for putting this together.
Oh, same here.
Thanks for jumping in, Leo. I appreciate it.
Well,
and to all our live viewers, yeah, you're going to listen to us say goodbye to Leo. Fucking relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, crap. No, I don't like that view. There we go.
Okay.
So, Webster, what year did you enlist, and what did you enlist as? Or do you guys have like an open contract thing like the Marine Corps does?
I joined in 1995. I went to art school first, after school, and then I didn't quite fit into art school in that mold because I was a bit of an aggressive person, and I needed to sort of channel my violence into. I was working in a local superstore, beating up shoplifters, and that wasn't going down too well. So they said you would be better off going in the military, where they could channel that sort of aggressive behavior. And then, like in the military, they just give you awards. Yeah. They would give you promotions and treats for the more psychopathic you became.
Yeah,
that's true. No, it's true.
They would just use you for more violent jobs, and that's how I sort of progressed in the military. And what I found was because I wasn't the most intelligent person, I could physically get myself to where I needed to be in the military. So the more fit you became, and I used my fitness as a tool I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but to get my rank, and to sort of I loved the life, just traveling around the world and causing trouble. And
the structure is important too. That's one of the things that I love about it is there's a structure, and everybody tries within reason to follow the structure. But in the American military, like in the Army, there's a rule for everything. There's a regulation how to tie your boots and how to wear your uniform.
Yes,
like literally.
No, it's literally written down somewhere for everything that is done.
Yeah, that's one of the things I miss a lot about it, and the camaraderie.
Someone rang me the other day, and they're writing a book about film producing, and they asked me as a director and a writer and a director, because I wrote and directed Penitent. They said, how did you put together Penitent? And the reason I put it together in the way I did was using everything I was taught in the military to organize people and to be the leader of that, and the leadership skills that I learned in it was. So when I said I was going to make the film, to keep that vision for 7 years, because when you're making a film with no budget and no money and telling everyone, we're going to make this and it's going to work. And you got people coming in, people leaving, people not believing in your vision, people trying to actually destroy your vision, which is one of the hardest things, and then not becoming violent towards them because they're about to destroy your dream. It was literally emotion. To make Penitent was an emotional roller coaster in itself.
You didn't beat them up, really?
No. But there was times that it was people I could have, neck stretched them and pulled their head off, but I didn't.
Yeah, it just seems like out of character for you not to beat somebody up. That's all.
I think that's been the hardest journey is to transfer, because I've also been a therapist for 12 years and had to do a lot of therapy on myself and learn about looking inward, and that was also part of the journey, was to look inward. And because I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2007, I realized I realized that I had serious problems, that going through making the film was a cathartic process for me, dealing with all these situations and managing people without using violence, and to use negotiations, and to also reflect inside and realize that was part of the journey, and actually also that what came out at the end of making Penitent was a team of artists that helped me finish the film, which I can now go forward with and use the same team again, because we all and work and collaborating, because as a director, all I see yourself as, you are the conductor of a very, of an orchestra. And if you've got a good orchestra, then you can conduct that to get the perfect music at the end, and also letting go of your own ego, because I might have a vision of how I want to make this film, but the editor's going to have his vision, the sound designer's going to have his vision, the cinematographer's definitely going to have his own vision, and then allowing them to have the creative freedom to finish what we've got, which is Penitent. And I'm really proud of it, you know.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's good that you went through therapy. I'm still in the drinking part of therapy, so
yeah.
Webster, do you think that one of the things that the movie also helped with is like giving you a purpose? Because that's one of the things that we see a lot of soldiers when they come back is like they don't, you wake up every day and like everything is laid out. Like you do PT, you do this, and when you get out, do you feel like the film has helped like put like a mission back on you?
It's it's definitely it gave me a creative vent, because I find if I do manual labor work, and also I work as a therapist part-time as well, so I do like manual labor work. I'm basically a jack of all trades, a master of none. I just do everything I got to do to hustle. You're just a hustler, just got to keep the pennies coming in and pay the mortgage but that the making the films, that's my artwork, that's, I don't know how I'm going to be in the future if I'm dealing with big budgets and then all of a sudden I've got to answer to someone or answer to a boss. And that's the thing I've got to work out next, is where do I go next? If we're working with huge amounts of money, does the fun come out of it? Because I've not done it I've only ever made 2 films now with no money, and both of them have been painful. Penitent on the last 2 years was fun, but the films in the past have been absolute hell to make, because you're just dealing with lots of egos and lots of different politics. And also, if you've got no money to pay anybody and you're trying to convince people to come along for the ride, the great thing about what happened last year was when we was winning all these awards, like people like Jordan, the editor, Jordan Cottingham, he's a young art student, and all of a sudden now he's won a Cannes World Film Festival for best editor. Or Lee Groves, who's been working in the music industry for years with David Bowie and Janet Jackson and all these like big artists, and all of a sudden takes a punt with us amateurs on this film, and he creates this amazing music score because he wanted to basically learn about making music scores for films. So he practiced his craft on our film, and now we've got this stunning, amazing music score done by like one of the greatest music producers in the world. Right. So we got Lee Groves on board, but he said working with us was just as much fun as working with some of the greats, because he had that creative freedom, because we didn't know what we were doing.
Well, that's the fun part.
But Lee was between me, Lee, and Jordan. At one point, we would like go out, shoot some stuff, and then this guy called Kyle. We had Kyle Richardson came in. He was the cinematographer who took over from John O'Regan. John O'Regan was like he teaches cinematography at the university, and he was amazing. But his shoulder gave way, and it was suddenly didn't have a cinematographer. Kyle came in, and between what we were shooting and then what Jordan was editing, and then we would send it to America where Lee Groves was editing it in Boston, and then he would send it back to us, and we were like crafting the film, and it was just such a beautiful process. I was like, oh God, if it could just stay like this, we'll go out, shoot the stuff, come back, Jordan edits it, then we send it to Lee puts the score on it, and in the end it was just that was the most joyous part of making Penitent, was putting it together. And do you know what, none of them said no, they just got on with it. But at the beginning, you get all these people that they want to sort of get in on your film, but they just want the IMDb credit, which is sad, really, And then they start self-sabotaging it, and like the guy that I was working with at the beginning deleted 3 days of the footage on a hard drive because he said, "I'm running out of hard drive space, so you're going to produce me a new hard drive in the next 2 days," which I didn't have the money to buy, or I'm going to start deleting footage, and I had to go out fishing and get the money quickly. Which went round to his house and pleaded with him, "Please don't delete any more footage. I've got an editor. You don't need to delete it." And how I didn't kick the shit out of him, I don't know. But
that's what the question I had. It's like,
honestly,
yeah.
So I've never said it on her, but an absolute grade A asshole to work with, and I hope I never see him again because it drove me mad. to delete footage, I think is sacrilege. When all those actors have turned up, right, and they're working for nothing.
See, them
right?
people.
I won't name the guy, but flipping hell, man, I was
They wonder why.
Pissed me right off.
Wow.
I mean, anyone who does that that's criminal negligence, and you should get the death penalty.
Definitely, I agree. Why do that? What a dick! What an absolute dick! Yeah, it is a dick.
Some people just like being a dick.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to delete this footage. Yeah, that's a really good idea, isn't it?
Do you say it just like that?
I feel like this is therapy now. I've got that off my chest. I've said it to the world. Cock with a capital C.
Composed than I am. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, "All right, man, I guess I got to blow up your house."
Right? It's like,
hey, Rico, your mic is wicked low.
Oh yeah,
bro. The pettiness in Richard is what's up, bro.
But anyway, now on a peaceful note, I've done a lot of therapy, and I've forgiven him. I've forgiven him.
So, Webster, what is the long-term goal with the movie? Are you trying to get it into?
Well, I tell you what, America have been the only people that in Bayview Entertainment took our film on, because obviously the starting of the war in Ukraine hasn't been the best for people wanting to make war films about the Eastern Bloc. So
right.
It was like we couldn't have hit it at the more wrong time. Every film I bring out is always at the wrong time. It's like, no one's going to be interested in watching something that's about the Eastern Bloc raking up the past. And I didn't want to kick the Bosnia War off again. So, what happened was basically Bayview Entertainment in America went, "We'll take your film," and I was like, looked at some of the films and one of my friends has got a film out with them. Dave Reynolds, bless him, he passed away. They brought a film out called Louisa, which is it's an animation about a lifeboat rescue that happened 100 years ago in England, and it's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film. In fact, I'll just have a look if it's in my cupboard here. I'll just get the DVD out and show you it, so in case there's someone out there that wants to buy it, because Dave passed away recently of cancer, and he put a bit. It's called Louisa. It's on Amazon Prime. I should be plugging it in.
But
it's a beautiful animation. It's not got a massive budget. It's not the best cover, but for a Christmas film, it's like a Christmas film as well, and it's got a beautiful score on it. Have you ever seen The Snowman, the British Raymond Briggs The Snowman? If you got children, it's definitely worth watching it with some with your kids at Christmas. It's called Louisa. It's on Amazon Prime.
That sounds better than that Snowman movie with Michael Keaton, because that sucked.
My daughter wanted to watch that the other day.
He went from Batman to Snowman. It was horrible. I got to give my friend Dean Kevin a shout out. I've been working him on doing the oysters at the moment, and Martin lately, and we've been getting the oysters in for Christmas time, because we sell them to France, and France go mad for the oysters and the snails and all that lot. So we're doing that at the moment. We're getting up at 6 o'clock, going in, and
wow,
I got to go in the water tomorrow. I got to go up to my nipples and pull bags of mussels out of the sea. I've just got my wetsuit out for it tomorrow, but this is the life. This is the Hollywood lifestyle. See, that everyone's sort of.
How hard is it to catch snails?
You just pick them off the.
That's what I thought. I was like, just pick them off the rock. Snails. How hard is it to hunt a snail?
They are fast. They're fast.
You should say, "I'm going to pick up snails." Hunting is a whole different thing.
Foraging. So you haven't seen Penitent yet? None of you have seen it. I thought you would have seen it.
No. I actually said this to Jeff earlier. I said I was flipping through, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, here's Penitent. Here's Diary of a Disgraced Soldier. I said, I got to watch these before the show Wednesday. And then I clicked over and I went, oh, shit, I got to finish watching this series I'm watching. I was like, and all of a sudden it's fucking Wednesday, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to watch the movie.
What a dick move! Oh my god!
Hey, Rico, your mic's wicked low. I can't hear you.
I can hear him.
Oh, my bad. My bad about that.
You muted your mic?
I did. I was muting my mic because I went to get my I'm cold.
Oh.
So we'll treat you right.
But for all our viewers, real quick, if you do want to check out Penitent or just Diary of a Disgraced Soldier or anything that this amazing gentleman has done, it's in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us from. Usually Leo does that. And I forgot he wasn't here. So now back to the show.
I've got a book. I've got a book called Soldier of Consequence as well. So there's 3 products on Amazon Prime. Soldier of Consequence, which is about what happened to me with getting arrested and being a world news story at one point with filming that incident.
What's the shipping from the UK to the US? Because I'd buy the book, but I have to have it autographed. So I can't buy it unless it's autographed because then it goes.
That's a good point right there. That's a good point right there, Ben.
Yes,
I have the same question actually.
What if I post out some stickers to you? I'll put some signatures on these stickers. You stick it on your book.
You could actually do that. You could actually do that. I have seen that in the army.
I'll tell you what I wanted to do. Once you've seen Penitent, I've got this was left over from when we were doing our promotion. The artwork is amazing. It
is amazing.
This was done by a local artist in England, and what I want to do is try and get Steve to sign it. Steve Kelly. I want to see if Steve will come on your podcast because he does when you've watched the film, you'll see that he does an amazing job.
Yeah,
Steve Kelly, Julian Segar. Obviously, you've met him. He's an animal in it, an absolute animal. Jason Girders, Dave Trout, and Des Edwards, and all of. I'll try and get signatures from Ali Harrison. Get them to sign it, and then if we could send it over to you guys, and then you could perhaps put it up as a. I don't know. Put it up as
I'm going to have to get Amazon Prime now.
Put it up as a dartboard.
Okay.
Is that what you said? Dude, I'm glad Julian's not watching right now.
What?
Yeah,
right.
Jules is a unit. You've seen when you see the film, we see what he does to me in it. You'll be he done mess about.
I gotta ask. You were a soldier for a little while. What was one of the things that you enjoyed the most out of being a soldier?
I think the best, the most proudest I was when I trained recruits. I went back to where I was trained, and I got to train for 12 weeks recruits to become soldiers. So like taking them from civilians to it was like proper. It was my Full Metal Jacket moment. Like I was listening to that.
So you tactically subdued a lot of people to the ground with the minimum amount of force necessary.
Oh, no.
You understand?
I said to them, I said, guys, you can either have Winchester's training, and ATR Winchester it was called, where we trained. I can't remember what ATR stands for now. I've lost my military, but ATR Winchester is where we trained them. And I said, you can either have ATR Winchester's recruit training, or you can have my training for your final exercise. And they said, we're going to Afghanistan, we want your training. So we put them through interrogation. We completely threw the rule book out, and we took them to another level. We had to take them to war, because these people, if they don't, they're gonna. And gratefully, all of them come back alive, and they're friends with me now on Facebook. And there's a picture. I'll try and find it of me with my recruits. And we've got this evil stare, like sending them to war, and we had this photograph taken, and it was a good moment, That was one of my proudest moments.
That's really cool that you say that, because like I went to you'll get a chuckle out of this. I went to Iraq like straight out of basic training.
Yeah,
and like I didn't have that pre-deployment training, and like I realize now, looking back after running missions with these guys and stuff, that it's so important. Because like if I can't trust you to take a hit or to like really like lose your shit when we need to, like I can't trust you in a combat zone. So like that pre-deployment training, man, is you bond a lot too.
Yeah, the Afghanis don't have that same rule book. I don't know if you noticed that over there.
The bad guys don't. Let's say the bad guys.
Yeah, the bad guys.
The bad guys.
The bad guys, bro. Just right. No, that's really cool. That's 12 weeks, man. That's awesome.
So I do have a question though. So you had mentioned earlier in the show that you had PTSD, And I know I saw somewhere that you're actually a trainer. Wow, we just lost Jeff again. He's having serious.
He's got pause. He's got.
He's got some serious weather going on in his area right now, so it keeps knocking out his internet. But you actually work with veterans suffering now. Is that correct?
I have done, yeah. And I mean, I would still say I'm recovering through PTSD. I'm still going through the journey. I thought at one point I'd completely mastered it, but during COVID and the mask wearing bullshit and all the nonsense that went with COVID restrictions just wound me up, and I lost a lot of money in my businesses, and I was seriously angry at the government, and it ignited stuff in me that I'd thought that I'd buried, and you know, I still work through those my aggressive anger towards what I see as a dystopian cloud that came over not just England but the whole world, you know. And as a soldier, and my grandfather being a soldier as well, we fought as your forefathers fought for in our country. We'd be speaking fucking German without you guys, you know.
Right.
And we fought for people, civilians, to have the rights to freedom of speech. And I've seen my son's generation have 2 or 3 years stripped away from them. You know, people call them snowflakes and that, but man, when I was 18, 19, I could go to France, I could go to Europe, I could travel anywhere I wanted. I wasn't restricted.
Right.
I could do anything. I could do anything I wanted. And now all of a sudden, my generation are saying to the younger generation, you can't have what we've had. And I'm like, fuck you, man. This is what I fought for. This is I fought for people to have freedom of choice. And what I'm seeing is more of the choices have been taken away, more of the freedoms have been taken away. And that fucking pisses me off. You know, that ignites my PTSD more than anything. Because
we had a friend that kind of described what you're saying with the best phrase that I've ever heard. And he's like, I heard this from a movie, and he told me, he's like, people don't understand that a lot of us went to war for less than $50,000 a year. Look at all the wild shit that we did.
$15,000.
Wow!
Oh!
What the duck?
A private soldier is on about in England is on about. It might have gone up now. It might be.
But didn't you get hazardous pay? You got hazardous pay.
No, mate. No chance.
What?
I think Rico froze. No.
I thought
that's unbelievable.
I thought I misheard you. I was like, oh my God. I will never bitch about my deployment again, bro. Oh my God. But to tell you this, my friend says, you know, we went to war for, $50,000, less than $50,000 a year. And we did some gangster shit. The fuck you think we're going to do for the people that we really love?
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
That's what people don't get about
the sleeping. There's a sleeping giant, and I think the more they withdraw freedoms, the more they withdraw stuff away. Like we saw what happened in Canada, you know, with like that fucking Justin Trudeau, that cocksucker. You know what he done to his country, and that dickhead in New Zealand, Jacinda, or whatever fucking name is, the skinny. Fucking,
I know you're talking about
skeleton head. You know what these people are doing is disgusting, and us veterans are sitting back watching and going, "You're behaving no different than Saddam Hussein." In fact, Saddam Hussein wasn't that bad. I spoke to people in Iraq, and they said he wasn't that bad. He left us alone. Like the people in the Maysan province, the tribes. I spoke to people. I said, "What did you think of Saddam?" He said, "Well, to be honest, he just left us alone. We just, obviously roasted people alive and done some crazy ass shit." But,
we were in Baghdad.
Let me just can I just tell this story quickly? There was a war memorial in Basra. They went back like to the First World War, and Saddam had it moved because they were going to build on this area. He had it moved brick by brick. So if he was that disrespecting of he would have just demolished it, wouldn't he? So. Well, he had some morals. I'm not saying Saddam was a great guy, but the thing is, we're told so much fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah,
so much bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Eric, I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, the U.S. actually put him in charge, believe it or not. And the reason they put him in charge is because he could keep a lid on things. Not because he was a great guy. He kept order. That was it.
He murdered people.
Well, he did murder people. I didn't say he was a great guy. I said he kept order. There's a difference. Okay.
Yeah, we found the mass graves of him. He buried, Kuwaiti people on the, buried them alive. He done some fucked up shit. But we've got politicians in this country that use midazolam, which is an end of life drug, to kill off all the old people. The greatest generation that lived, they killed them off and didn't let them see their families. I don't know if it happened in the States in the same way, but I know people that couldn't go and see their relatives. How dare they do that? How dare these scumbag generation?
You should come to Missouri, Webster.
Yeah, they do that in Canada, believe it or not.
You should come to Missouri, Webster. I think you would like Missouri, Webster.
What, you got some people there you want them to beat up?
No,
yes.
I'm retired.
No,
I'm retired.
Missouri, he would be
I'd probably get beat up.
No, dude, no. Listen, dude, I'm telling you, if you're ever in the U.S., come to Missouri. You're not gonna want to leave. I'll tell you that.
No, but believe it or not, this is true. Up in Canada, they're actually offering vets end of life service.
Oh, with terminal, if they have like terminal diseases and stuff.
No, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to end it?"
All right,
because we'll help. We'll help.
Damn.
It
doesn't even have to be a doctor. It can be a nurse.
It saves them money on pensions. That's why. That's what they don't want to pay out for these people.
I don't doubt it.
Damn, Webster with the.
It's turning into a conspiracy show, Ben. This is turning into a.
That was on the news. That's not a conspiracy show. It was on the news.
That's why I just lit a joint.
I'm sober for this, bro. I'm sober. What are you doing?
Hey, man, to all our viewers, like I said, you never know where our show is going to go. We were here to talk about Penitent and the movies.
I'll go deep down that rabbit hole. We're going to be up there with Alex Jones, mate. This is going to be.
Oh God, we're going to get a visit by the Men in Black.
I've got the papers. I've got the documentation.
I will say this though. It sounds to me like Martin is going to appear on the Rico podcast sometime in the near future.
Absolutely.
I'll be on it. I love a conspiracy now and then. Just keeps you.
Dude, you want the three of you want him and just the two of us on a show?
Oh,
it's you. Well, yeah. I mean, you don't need me there to sit, look pretty, and smoke weed,
bro. It would be wild. It would be. Right? It would be wild. Just the three of us talking about veteran stuff. It would get.
Well, that's pretty much what we've done tonight. So
that's true. That's true,
sorry, guys.
It's all good. No, it's great.
Questions.
I love
Webster. This is dope.
No, this is great.
This is awesome.
That's why people watch our show, because you just don't know where that show is going to end up going. Yeah, we do touch a little bit about what we say we're going to touch about, which would be your film career as a producer, an actor, the things that you've accomplished. But I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation in depth, learning more.
I'm glad since it's your show. I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation. It's
well, fuck. I mean, I think I got a couple questions in, and Jeff.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah,
Jeff lost power, so I don't even know if he's coming back. Leo had to go eat dinner.
Webster, I gotta ask you, what's next, man? Like, what's your next film? I know that an idle mind.
Hey, that's Ben's question. No, hold on. That's Ben's question.
I know that an idle mind is a devil's playground, because I know I'm a soldier through and through, man. So I know that if I stay still, bro, I'll burn down a building.
It's not good.
What's next?
This is my easel behind it, because I'm an artist. I like paint. I do a lot of paintings and drawings and sketches first, and then that becomes my vision board of what I'm trying to. And it's amazing when you're making a film how if I draw a picture, literally next thing I know, I'm seeing the actors in front of me performing exactly what I've come up with, or doing a storyboard. I love that. That for me is like, I don't know if you've heard of The Secret, the law of attraction and manifesting I've actually seen that happen with filmmaking. It's just unbelievable. Like I've had the vision in my head, found the location. I find the location first where I want to shoot it. I start thinking about the actors I'm going to use. I'm going to use Jules. Am I going to use Jim Maine? Am I going to use Steve Kelly? I think about the actors of what I know they can do. They're sort of, and I don't try and push the actors out of their comfort zone to be something that they're not. I always want them to be an extension of herself. If you watch Penitent, I'm in Penitent. My missus said to me, "Well, that's just you. You just behave like all the time, losing your temper and flipping out all the time." So, I'm not trying to be something I'm not, and I don't want an actor to do that. I want to find, if I'm going to cast somebody, I'll write the script around what the person can do. Like Jules is amazing to work with because he's like me. He's got that dark side, and you can really tap into that with Jules. And the best thing about Penitent was creating the villains. When you watch RoboCop and that scene where Peter Weller gets captured by the bad guys, Clarence Boddicker, and then they shoot him up, and you just hi Jeff, thanks for joining in. You just feel scared for Peter Weller, the character of Murphy, when he's about to get shot. I don't know when I watched that when I was a kid watching that in the 80s, I remember shitting myself when they blew his hand off. And so I wanted to create a scene at the beginning of Penitent that sort of made you're drawn into these soldiers, and then all of a sudden this bad thing happens. And the villains are so scary that they become almost like demonic, and Jules just pulls that off massively. It's him and Des and Dave Trout was he's an ex-police officer. He was an ex-armed response police officer. So like the way he's moving with his weapon, this guy's done it for real. I want people that have done this shit for real. I don't like using people who don't know what they're doing. So there's a couple of soldiers that are in Penitent that I served with, like Liam Davies. I was in the army with him. He did 15 years, did 3 tours of Iraq.
Oh wow!
One of the guys that's doing the intelligence brief, he sounds like a farmer with his accent, and he's a plumber. He's a plumber now, but he'd been to Bosnia, so everything he's describing in the film is from. I said, just give an intelligence brief to do some officers, and I'll film it, and that's all we did. He said, right, guys, tomorrow you're going in. This group's going to be out here. You're going to be doing this task Alpha, task Bravo, task Charlie, and we just did it all exactly how it would have been in the military. So
I like that.
When you watch the film, and also the gunfire, we used real gunfire. So we took the sound engineer, the sound recordist, and my friend is still in the army, and they were going to go down to shoot the shooting range in Cornwall. So I said, "Oh, will you be able to get us in?" So they let us come in, and we got in with the sound equipment and went into the butts. I don't know if you did that when you was in the army, gone down in the trenches, and they fired over your head.
Over you.
With a 50 cal.
Yeah. With a 50 cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
didn't know Alec Baldwin was in the movie.
Who? You didn't know who was in the movie?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
You're talking about using live weapons, so.
Yeah. He'll be doing a lot.
Part of him. I mean, he's kind of famous. So.
Yeah, Alex is probably he's going to be doing a long sentence, isn't he? Bless him.
He loves live fire action. He does.
But that didn't he get some? He got some stupid idiot woman who didn't have a clue about weapons to teach him. She was doing all the firearms. I'm not saying that women can't do that. I'm just saying
it's still under investigation. I believe
there was a lot of things that led up to that. It wasn't just
there's a
one
lot
thing.
of things that led up to it that's been, but it's still under investigation, unfortunately. But it's not looking good.
No.
It's not, I mean,
So to find out about our amazing guest, look in the show notes down below. So Rico had asked what you had coming up in works. So I read somewhere that you're working on a couple of things. One called Grail.
Yeah.
And another called We'll Meet Again. So tell us a little bit about maybe Grail.
So Grail, when I was making Penitent, just at the end of Penitent, when I'd finished all the war scenes, I was exhausted, and I I went. I woke up at 3:00 in the morning, and this just story came to me when we was growing up as children in Cornwall. Have you heard of Cornwall in England?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cornwall. It's quite a sort of Celtic mystic part. It's a bit like Gaelic connected with Ireland and stuff like that. Yeah. But there's these old folklore tales that Jesus came to Cornwall, visited Cornwall, and that sounds completely nuts, right? But there was this tale that Jesus came to Cornwall, and there's all these stone crosses in Cornwall, like these stone monoliths. And you go around Cornwall, they're everywhere. Every churchyard has one of these, and they're 2,000 years old. And on it is a Celtic cross on one side, and on the back is a little kid with his arms up like this and a little tunic. And they reckon that the child version of Jesus, because he was being pursued by Herod, he went off with Joseph of Arimathea, who was his uncle at the end of his execution. And Joseph of Arimathea was a tradesman and traded all over the world, and was well travelled, and would come up through Gaul, which was France, and come up through the coast and travel across to Cornwall to trade for tin, because tin mines are really significant with Cornwall. There's still tin today. Hi, Jeff. So the legend was that Jesus would come to Cornwall to trade for tin, and they would bring gold and spices and merchant stuff from. And I thought, this is amazing tale. Imagine what this would look like to see like an ancient vessel coming in out of the mist into Cornwall. You can play the trailer while we're talking if you wanted. It just sort of show the sort of the scene that we shot. So I started to visualize what would that be if they met the pagan tribes of Cornwall. And I started to visualize it. And next thing, the story came to me, and I started writing it at 3:00 in the morning. And by the end of the morning, I had the sort of outline of Jesus comes to Cornwall, meets the descendant of Merlin, which was so that's gonna be. I wasn't smoking nothing as well when I did this. Right, this was just. If I smoked joints, because my brain is mad enough. I don't need to take drugs, right? If I took drugs, I don't know what I'd be locked up.
It might calm you down.
No, I've done it. I've tried it. It didn't. It just don't. For me,
you just want to murder more.
No, man. My brain is crazy enough. I need to. Just fresh air's enough for me. So back to the Jesus story anyway. So anyway, Jesus,
he meets Merlin,
meets a descendant of Merlin. Not saying that because there's different timelines there, King Arthur and all that lot. And then there's this whole war going on with these Celtic tribes, and he's basically the story isn't about. It's about these tribes meeting this mystic man, whether he's Jesus or not. That leaves for the viewer to decide. And that Jesus is just he's just on job. What do they call it? Job training.
Oh, okay. On the job training, yeah.
He's just on the boat. He's gone with his uncle Joseph. He's getting some work experience around the world, and he's. But how did Christianity get into England for a start? Because it's bloody miles away, isn't it? The difference geographically.
True.
So I was wondering, perhaps this is. And there's have you heard of William Blake? The work of William Blake, and he did the. Have you heard of the song Jerusalem? There's a song in England called Jerusalem. It's very the song Jerusalem says, and did those feet in ancient times walk upon green pastures green or something like that. So he was mentioning he was a coded message. Did Jesus come to England? And those satanic mills, which is a reference to the tin mines, the mines of Cornwall. And a lot of miners went to.
Oh, we got an issue there.
I think he froze up.
Oh,
froze up.
He's coming to us from across the pond, so
that's true.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the dark with a lantern.
We just can't hear him.
I see that.
Or maybe he's actually.
Jeff actually lost.
Jeff, you lose power and everything.
Yeah, I lost power and everything. I'm on my phone. I got a lantern.
CIA shut us down.
Yep, he's back.
CIA shut us down.
For the 3-letter agency listening to this and wiretapping it, please, It's all jokes.
Right.
Well, I was hacked by the News of the World for 6-7 months. Have you heard of the newspaper News of the World years ago?
Yes, absolutely.
So my name came up on the same list as Hugh Grant's, Charlotte Church. You probably don't know who she is. Ryan Giggs, just a load of English sort of celebrities. I wasn't a celebrity; I was just a soldier. But because I was being spied on by a guy called Glenn Melcare, who was outside my house spying on me when I was training recruits at ATL Winchester. Funny enough, and my name came up in his diary. So the Metropolitan Police contacted me in 2011 and said, "Oh, you've been hacked by the News of the World. Your phone. Would you like a payout?" Of course I would. Thank you very much. So I had a letter.
Yeah, of course I would.
The government fucks me enough.
Yeah, so they gave me some money to keep quiet about it, and I've just told her.
Well, you know.
Hypothetical, Webster. This is all hypothetical, bro. This is all hypothetical. We've all been drinking, you know.
Hey, I know what it's like getting hacked by those 3-letter agencies because they started playing Spanish commercials on HBO, and I don't speak Spanish, so.
No, it's true. He texted me, Webster. He texted me one day. He's like, these motherfuckers know that I hang out with a Puerto Rican because everything is like, hola, como está español? And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like a regular Home Depot commercial, but it's in Spanish. I'm like, you guys are supposed to be outside the store, not in the, what the hell?
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
Muchas gracias.
Is there a?
I speak a little bit of Spanish.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Mañana. Tomorrow. We do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh God, this got out of hand, Ben. This got out of hand.
It's HBO's fault. It's HBO.
No, Jeff had nothing to do with running this one off the tracks.
No, the only 3-letter thing I know is GFY.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great saying. I love that one.
Oh God, dude. Oh,
no, this has been great. I mean, we've learned a lot, I think.
Learned some Spanish anyway.
Big shout out to Ben Rowe, our producer. It gets us. Ben just come in on the chat there. Ben Rowe.
There you go. All
right. I already like him. He's got a great.
Yeah, he's got a great. We got to get more people from Britain watching your podcasts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have. I mean.
We'll do. I'll share out as much as I can, guys.
I think you're the fifth guest to join us from the UK. I mean, Jules joined us from the US, but he originally is from the UK.
Yeah, well, he's coming back. Yeah, he's getting picked up by Ben.
He's actually
tomorrow.
He's in Boston right now.
He's about 40 minutes from me right now. He's in Boston at the airport.
He's up in it, yeah.
He's got a 6-hour layover.
He wanted me to pick him up from the airport, but we're doing oysters tomorrow and Friday are our busiest days. We're on doing the oysters.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
You drinking? You having a few brews?
They cut your hands up big time. These things.
Oh,
really?
They do? Really?
How like the
oysters? The edges are razors, absolute razors.
Bro, you gotta go to Puerto Rico and have oysters in Puerto Rico.
You gotta wear gloves.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you can get them for like. Well, it used to be like a quarter when I was growing up. You get a quarter and you get oysters. It's like 75 cents each. But dude, that smooth, my man, smooth. Never knew oysters could have sharp edge. You remember? You've lived in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
They were 50 cents, I thought.
It's like swallowing a freaking snot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it's good for you.
Yeah,
good for you, bro. It's good for you.
I got invited out to America because I did the work with the veterans and I made the film Diary of a Disgraced Soldier. There's a Father Phil Salwar, who's he's a Vietnam veteran who contacted me, watched my film, and he said, would I come out to the States in 2011? Went out to Florida and they did the international conference of war veteran ministers. So they like Vietnam veterans that suffered with post-traumatic stress disorder became ministers. I mean, this is a film in itself, right?
Wow, that is a film.
I can get some of these guys on your podcast. They'd love to come on. And I mean, Phil Salwar was amazing. And then he introduced me to Alan Cutter. Now, Alan Cutter wrote the book, The Altar of War. In fact, I think I've got a copy up here. I don't know but if he is an American treasure. Well, they both are. Yeah, this book here called The Altar of War. And you've all seen you've seen Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
This guy is the real deal. He worked on the Phoenix program, and I've got video footage of him talking about his experiences. So he was hired by the CIA because he could speak Vietnamese, and they brought him out to Vietnam. He was something like 19 years of age. He fell in love with this girl. This local girl, she got shot and killed. He then went over the edge, started drinking scotch every day, working with a death squad, going in at night. I mean, basically, a lot of people. Are you
talking about the Phoenix operation from
the Phoenix program? Yeah, Alan's still alive. Alan's still alive. Yeah, Alan's still alive, and he talks. I've got on foot. So I went out to America and met Alan's telling his story in this circle, and I'm thinking. This is like the real. This is the real Colonel Kurtz. This is the real Colonel Kurtz.
You guys know what this is, Ben and Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is.
Read the Altar of War. It's on Amazon Prime. I think
it's this so guy. For the people listening, it's basically it was a 3-letter agency operation that was done to pretty much pick up the Viet Cong, but it was like. Some real some people say that was like the beginning of like clandestine what people call wet work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read that, but I've read some of the unclassified stuff, and I did not know that gentleman was alive. That's some real shit right there.
If you go onto the Chris Fall podcast, my friend Chris Fall, he does a podcast in the UK. It'd be good to hook you. I'd like to get him on your show because you could pull a lot of. Do a lot of crossover with his podcast because he gets a lot of the English. So I'll link you up with Chris Thrall, and Chris Thrall interviewed Alan Cutter, and I mean he's a minister now. He's a real beautiful soul, real nice guy, but you wouldn't cross him like. And I said to him once, I said to Alan, Alan, how would you dispatch of people like when you was in the military? And he came behind me and he just ran his thumb across my throat. And it was his thumb was cold, and this guy's done this shit. He just went just like this, and I was like, whoa, flipping hell, man, this guy's. And he basically in the end, I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but the team that he trained, this death squad, they were going out and they were murdering people every night, and he thought, how can I reduce the killings? So he started giving them more scotch every night, more alcohol, lacing them with booze. And that was reducing the killings. And then he was going on his R&R to somewhere. And before he went on R&R, he heard the death squad saying, we need to get rid of Alan. We need to tie up the loose ends before the war ended. So Alan basically got on really drunk one night and then just tossed a load of grenades in and blew them up, killed them. And I know, man. It's the stories.
Look it up. Look it up.
It's a film. It's a film that needs to be made. I wish there's too many films I want to make. That's the trouble. And right? There's not enough time in my life.
Tell stories like that's a film. That's a film.
Right. I started too late. I wish but then again, I wouldn't have this experience to.
Dude, you didn't start late, man. Don't say that. Don't ever fucking say that, my man.
But like in my lifetime, there's so many films that I want. Like you say, what's next? I tried to make a Napoleon film about a year ago. We were supposed to start about 2 weeks ago shooting this Napoleon film, and we just couldn't get funding for it. And me and like one of the actors fell out, and the costume department didn't want to get involved.
I can play Napoleon. I'm like 5 feet tall. No, I'm not. I'm 5'7". I'm bigger than Napoleon.
I've seen you, bro. I watched some of your trailers for your fit. Yeah, it's good. What's that thing you're squishing? That head? How did you squish that head on your trailer? What's that made out of?
It was, I believe that was a cantaloupe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a cantaloupe that we had made up and put a wig on and blood packs and. Yeah, we ran it over.
I love it.
Put a wig on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It had to be a head.
It had to look like a head.
It reminded me of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
You a horror guy, Webster? You like horror stuff?
I I think there's too much of it coming out now, but I do like the old classic stuff. I love Evil Dead. I was going to put one.
I agree.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
I agree. I agree with you. There's too much. Like they're trying to do horror Halloween now.
Yeah, I still struggle watching The Exorcist. I find the older ones more scary. I think because they're almost like if I watch Exorcist or like The Omen. And
the original one.
That is the original
that
one.
Was have you seen The Orphan? The second part of it.
I haven't watched a lot of modern ones. They just
Listen
all too much CGI.
Go right now, dude. Go right now. Rent The Orphan, the first movie of The Orphan, and Benzino's, and the second one. It's a really fucked up movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first one.
You haven't seen it's on Paramount.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Paramount for free. It's on Paramount for free. Dude, it takes a lot for me to look at a horror movie and go, oh yeah, that's really fucked up. That movie had me going, I don't know who to hate.
Wow. Right?
I don't know who to hate more.
That's a good movie.
For Richard to say, I don't know who the fuck to hate more, that's a movie you gotta check out, bro.
Yeah.
So we only got about 4 minutes left.
4?
Well, yeah, we could sit here all night, but
probably.
Bro, if we boost it up,
do an extra 20 minutes. Do an extra.
If we lit it up with some booze, it'd be over. It's over.
I just want my power back so I can eat fucking dinner.
It's like I lost power, bro. It's cold over there. Never mind. I was gonna say just go burn some stuff out back.
Yeah,
it's a little cold outside.
Oh, I got a burn barrel. That'll warm me up.
We had the film director Tony Palmer come to our showing the other night. Tony Palmer directed. He directed with Frank Zappa's 200 Motels. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, Frank Zappa's. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Like,
you know Frank Zappa is.
I know Frank Zappa, but I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, but is it hurt when I pee?
Tony Palmer also worked with Richard Burton. He worked with Peter Sellers.
Nice.
And he was involved with the music on the Shining with Kubrick. He was. If you watch Kubrick, I mean, I'm a massive Kubrick fan. If you watch A Life in Pictures, Tony Palmer was asked to direct it. So Tony Palmer interviewed Spielberg, everyone. To have Tony Palmer, he's the one that quoted about the film. It's a very considerable piece of work, and most importantly, an interesting twist on the Bosnia War. Tony Palmer wrote that, and he came to our film night the other night because we did a fundraiser for veterans with PTSD. And we had me, Tony Palmer, and Jim Main, who's in the film Fisherman's Friends, and he's also in Penitent, and that was it. Oh, and Felix Black, who's going to be someone we're working with in the future. So literally, we made £20 for veterans with PTSD, which is. But it just goes to show in England, people don't really give a shit about veterans, to be honest. It's very sad, but that's where we're at.
It's everywhere, unfortunately.
But we had Tony Palmer to ourselves, and we had a chat with him, and he was telling us stories about Kubrick and things like that. And just, there's untold documentaries done on. I said to him, so why did Kubrick get it? He goes, he just consulted me on the music for The Shining. It's just, And do you know how I got to meet him? My dad fixes his swimming pool. My father fixes his swimming pool because he's got this house in Cornwall, beautiful house. Wow. And my father fixes his swimming pool. And he said, my son makes films. And he went, we'll get him to drop a film. So my dad I literally got his email address, fired the film off. It didn't have any music on it, and he loved it. So getting Tony Palmer on board. And also I need to shout out to Mark Ryan, bless him. Mark Ryan's the voice of Bumblebee from Transformers. We've got to get him on this podcast. I've spoken.
Yeah.
I mean,
we would definitely get him.
Up there with Jules and that. He's a real A-lister. He's done a lot of stuff. And also he knew Lewis Collins from The Professionals. I don't know if you've heard of Lewis Collins. Mm-hmm. He ended up passing away in America, but he was like a great British actor. Mark's also friends with Jason Connery, who's Sean Connery's son. Mm-hmm. And he's very, very good pals with Ray Winstone. You've all heard of Ray Winstone, the British actor. So
yes,
we got a little thumbs up from Ray about our film, saying, I don't know if he's watched it yet, but like you guys, he's not seen it yet.
Black Sails.
Oh yeah, Black Sails. Yeah, Mark's in Black Sails. Have you seen that?
No.
The pirate.
Is that the one with? That's the one with supposed to be Blackbeard, but he goes by a different name.
Yeah, might be that. I've not watched it myself. It's on Amazon Prime. I need to.
Everything's on Amazon Prime. No wonder I can't watch. No, this isn't porn. Black Sails is a pirate.
No, that's
On
black
that
lace.
note,
That's black lace.
Now, if
bad
it's
for your eyes.
Sails, then it might be a porno, but it's sales. Sales, yeah.
What's Edward Thatch, Ben? Oh, Ben's coming in there, chipping in with stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, because I told him he only had like 2 minutes left, so he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna keep throwing shit in the chat."
Yeah.
So
talk about this.
So people that we need to line up for podcast is we've got to get Mark Ryan on here.
Mhm.
Got to get Jules back on because he's funny and he's good to have on the show. Steve Kelly, who's once you've seen Penitent, then you'll have an understanding who Steve Kelly is. This guy here.
Yes.
And I don't know if Tony Palmer would come on the show because he's quite elusive. I mean, I don't know how he turned up to our film the other night. It was weird. We had nobody to watch our film but Tony Palmer, and I thought, hang on a minute, would I rather a huge crowd of people or Tony Palmer talking about Stanley Kubrick to ourselves? You know, it's like
right.
Do you know what I mean? It was a good trade-off. Have you got any questions, Jeff?
Yeah. Any last questions other than Rico and Eric?
Well, unfortunately, I kind of missed a lot of what the hell was going on.
It turned into a conspiracy show. Have you got any conspiracies that you want to?
Oh, I'm a conspiracy freak.
Show, though.
Okay, what about Joe Biden at the moment? What do you guys think of that prick?
Obviously, the same thing you do.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God, beat the shit out of that man. Like, I'd love to bang his and Boris Johnson's heads together, or whatever. I don't even know what the Prime Minister's called now. They change every week.
He went toe to toe with Corn Pop, so I don't know if you want to tangle.
Hey man,
with him.
he's Puerto Rican. Calm down.
That's true. He's Puerto Rican. He'll cut you.
No, that's the problem.
What the fuck are people thinking voting for him? Or I suppose it's those voting. What have you sorted out those voting boxes yet? What are these computers? What they call the Dominion.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Has anybody seen the new Jeff Dunham special?
No,
not the new one. No,
don't
it's called Me the People. Watch it. That's all I'm going to say about Joe Biden. Watch it.
Is that the guy Is that the guy who does the George Soros impressions? He was on with.
He does a ventriloquist.
He has Walter. Peanut.
J. Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Let's put it this way. Walter always starts the show, and Walter came out as Joe Biden. I'm not even fucking kidding you. You have to watch it.
Penitent, and then I'm watching that tonight.
I'm doing that.
Son.
Yes.
I damn near pissed my pants. I was laughing so hard.
I gotta. All right. We gotta go.
I hope he doesn't die soon because I want him to do the full term so everyone can see what a dick he is, and then die on the last week. So then Kamala can just have a week.
Yes,
at least a week. You get a week of Kamala. You got to have a week of Kamala.
Well, you know, as long as they keep him away from stairs, I don't think he's gonna die.
And bicycles.
And bicycles. Yeah, bicycles.
And kids.
Fucking
pedo.
In women's hair.
Yeah.
So, anyway, on that note,
and that's how I roll.
Rico and Eric. Where do you like people following you?
Oh man! First of all, thanks for having us.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun.
It's always nice to come by, and we appreciate it, man. You can follow us on Facebook on the Rico Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Rico Podcast.
We have a Patreon as well,
and you can follow us on Patreon.
You'll be shadow banned now. You'll be shadow. You'll be shadow banned. You have like
iHeartRadio,
baby.
You're gonna get one view a week, and you'll be like, "Hey, this doesn't make sense." I've ticked all the boxes tonight. This is getting shadow banned. This one.
I can put this everywhere.
Martin, where do you like interacting with your fans the best on the socials?
Where do I interact with my fans? I don't really have any.
On social media.
As I could tell the other night when on my film showing, we really had the film director turn up. I don't have any fans, mate. Fanless. We're gonna have a cult following. We're gonna have a cult following. That's what we're gonna have. All the conspiracy
Amazon
theorists.
Prime, you can find him. He's there.
So you can find him in the show notes up above or down below, folks, if you want to get in touch with this amazing gentleman. So, Mr. I Have No Power.
I'm in the dark. I apologize to everybody.
That's usually every show.
Well, yeah, I'm in the dark a lot, but I mean, this is the real deal now. It's like, what the fuck?
Literally.
Like, literally, I don't like it because it's dark outside, too.
Jeff, you look like the flea. You look like the flea from Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You flea's bad. You flea's bad.
I don't know.
He does. He looks like Flea.
Is that a compliment? I mean, I've been told I look like Ray Liotta, but
Webster Films Twitter. Oh yeah. We got Webster Films Twitter. You can find us on there.
So yeah, as far as us, just go to stilltoken.com.
Oh, if you go to YouTube, our Webster Films YouTube, we're trying to get some subscribers up there. But you can see the Grail trailer. You can see the Napoleon film that would have been made, but it's not going to be made. You can see you can see the trailer for Penitent, and what else is on there?
All kinds of cool shit.
Now that we've just literally got the trailers up there of the films I wanted to make and ones that I have made and the ones that I haven't made. I'm very good at making trailers, but not the actual full film. Grail's going to be good, man. Grail's going to be biblical. We need a lot of money to make that. We've got to cast you guys as cameos in that. We're going to have to get you over from the States.
Absolutely. One of our agents is from the UK.
Yes.
So, because we are actually represented by the same agency as Jules.
Right.
Oh, you?
So Spencer Wilding is one of our agents.
Right. And I can play a guy in the dark.
Yes.
Where can they find you, Jeff?
Stilltoken.com. Just go to stilltoken.com or Token with the Dead on Facebook. All the links will be there, and you can see all our shit that we're doing. Everything.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So, like Jeff said, stilltoken.com, best place to find us. Just hang out when we close out the show, Martin. I know you want to go to bed because you got to get up early, and it's like fucking almost midnight.
No, I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
But to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can do what we do. We are out of here. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
Nice.
Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution.
You good?
Okay.